We're going to talk hot rods tonight. Got my Christmas flannel on, so what can go wrong, right? I'm here with Larry Kozlowski, the hot rod guru. Larry, welcome. How was your Christmas, first off?
Oh, very good. Had a great time.
Yeah.
I'm looking kind of bad. I don't know how. I don't know. YouTube does me no justice.
Well, hey, you need a hat. I got lots of hats.
Uh, I'll meet you at the casino for one.
uh, yeah. Well, I just drove back. It's pretty bad out. I know it's not ice here, but it I don't know. It doesn't look good. And but I watched the guy win the BMW. Anyway,
Yeah.
I got uh I got the rear put in I got the rear done. The posi, I rebuilt that posi for the Charger, and everything's looking good. I have a lot of upholstery coming up. I'm looking at all kinds of stuff going on here. But I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Well, well, on that line, I was I spent most of the day dealing on my Roadster, and I don't think you can. I know you have pics of that thing. I don't think you can throw them up. But for everybody who's never seen it, it's a 31 Vic that is on a custom frame. Uh, it's been sectioned and shortened, and the roof is removed to make a roaster out of it. Only because when I got it out of Connecticut from my friend Adam on the ham, and he. It was in his apple orchard, and a tree had been laying on it for a long time,
I'm
so there
looking
wasn't much
for it.
left of the roof. Yeah, there wasn't much left of the roof, but it looks pretty cool now. And, it's running a 350 58 Chevy, a 40 over 350. That's got basically all L79
Well,
guts
that's
in it.
not it.
That's not it. No, no, nice try. I wish it was. That's pretty cool. I know that car
Um,
well.
I don't have
Uh,
it on my. I don't have it on here, so we'll
that's
find
okay.
it.
Some other time I'll send some pics over. You can throw them up sometime.
But
It, it looks
it's a
pretty cool.
it's a really cool. You always build nice things, and they're very proportionate too, which
Yeah,
is
it's nice. Got good lines on it. Proportions are nice. Got a really. I haven't fired the motor yet. It's a fresh motor, so I've got and it's all L79 guts. For everybody knows what an L79 is. I don't know if you want to go into that, Joe, or if I should. It's
go ahead.
yeah, well, L79 was a very limited production motor in the late 70s, the late 60s, early 70s. Most of them ended up in Corvettes, few ended up in Camaros and Novas. Uh, but there was very, very few of them. The numbers I hear between about 2,500 and 3,500 altogether, depending who you're talking to. They were an 11-to-1 motor with the 461 heads on, which are what everybody calls fuelie heads, and they ran uh, they ran a very nice hydraulic cam, unlike the 3030 cam, that the Duntop cam that everybody ran, which was solids, and you had to adjust every 2 weeks. You did your rockers. On the L79s were hydraulic lifters, although it gave pretty much the same performance as the 3030. Elgin made these for the Chevy factory with such a low production that they didn't never gear it up to make their own parts for this. They just bought them from Elgin, and I was lucky enough to find on Marketplace the Elgin cam and lifters untouched in the box yet from about 1967 or 68, and it was a really nice one. So I'm trying to protect that cam in the worst way possible. And then they ran a high rise aluminum intake with 650 uh, quadrajets on them, or thermoquads. And when they The thing is back then at the land of insurance regulations, they had to keep the horsepower to 350. They were actually supposedly around 370. So what you could do, there was a factory program for the L79s that they would allow you to swap the 650 carburetor for a 750 dual feed Holly, which put this thing up closer to 400 horses. They were very undercarbureted from the factory. So I've managed to locate all the parts I needed to put one together, the good rods, good pistons, everything else. I haven't fired it yet. It's in there. I'm running a 60 Corvette close ratio, the Saginaw box with the 60 Corvette bell, and I'm running a 9-inch that I narrowed, and I'm running a Detroit locker in it with 31 spline Moser axles, and it's got four-wheel disc brakes, which is the other half of the equation. I'm running Caddy Sevilles in the back with the emergency brakes on, and up front I have some 70 Chevelle discs, the dual piston discs that I have hidden inside of some uh, 46 to 48 front brakes, backing plates, and what have you. So pretty hard to tell that it's running discs. And then uh, should be a pretty potent setup thing here. And anybody that's listening up, I'd welcome opinions on this since I'm so touchy about this cam. My my usual oil to fire one is 10W30 regular oil, non-synthetic, with half quart, 1 pint uh, of uh, lead additive into the to the oil, and that I think uh, has done the job for me in the past. I've never eaten a cam on that,
What
so
about
that's what I'm going to throw in here.
what about the zinc? The-
The
oh,
zinc additive. I'm sorry, not lead additive, zinc additive. I'm I'm like half asleep here, but I look it, but I'm really not. But the zinc additive, that's what I meant. The zinc additive in there. I don't know what are you using for initial fire ups?
uh, just to break in oil and well, here's the thing: whatever you put in, you're gonna change it immediately. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
so I just run a high zinc. Lucas makes it,
Yeah.
uh, but they make oils today are so far advanced than they were back in the 50s and 60s. I mean, when you pull off a valve cover from a car that hasn't been redone on they're just filled with buildup of goo, carbon.
Yeah.
They didn't have the oil technology back there either. I mean, so today's oils are just that much more advanced. Now, I don't really run synthetic in my old cars. I don't know if
Mm.
that's something that you tossed around doing, or
No,
I don't think.
I don't run synthetics. I run organic oils.
Yeah,
But the thing is uh, a lot of people now. I mean, we all see the Facebook stuff. They're saying they're eating cams left and right, and I think it's more because of the crap lifters, and
yeah,
not and not so much the cams that are bad. The I think there is only two cam companies left, and uh, that are using U.S. blanks to turn their cams. Even
right.
Edelbrock's lately, people have been complaining they've been eating Edelbrock's left and right.
During startup.
And yeah, yeah, there's only one or two left. This cam that I have is old enough that it's still probably turned on a U.S. blank, I would think. And the uh, there's been everybody's been complaining about how bad it is to say you got to run a roller cam. which kind of defeats the purpose of having an old one because the I know the roller cams are nice and stuff, and you can hardly tell. Just to me, the hydraulics, regular hydraulic feels better. Solids feel the best, although they're a pain in the cookies if you're going to drive it. So I have a 650 Holly on here now, and I'm just going to run an HEI to start it up because I know it will run just fine. It's real easy. And then I'll throw my Mallory dual point in afterwards at some point. Also, I have a 4.2 set up on a Y&W C4B, which it's C4D, which is the only 4.2 intake that you can run progressive. You can run 2 and 2 on those. And I actually think the Offie 4.2 intake feels better. So, I'll play with it a little bit. For now, the Holly will do, and it'll get me out that I can terrorize the neighborhood as soon as the snow is gone. So
Yeah, I mean, you
that's
can't.
where I'm at.
I know you're not done with it, but that'll be something cool to see uh, on the road. Have
Oh, yeah.
you picked the color yet? Is it gonna be like maroon, dark maroon, or?
Torn between. Um, I was either thinking either a dark maroon and then just run the I have the wheels and the chassis. I shot it in gloss black. It's just in Eastwood black, right now. But I'm torn between a deep maroon, no metallic or anything, just a uh, base color, or Washington blue. Either one would look really good on that car. I have the seat done in maroon Naugahyde, and I have the material. Well, last time you were over, you looked at that. I have the material for the door panels. I have to have made up yet, and but I think either of those colors. You've seen the car. What do you think?
I think I like any traditional color on an old car personally. Dark blue, dark maroon, dark green. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, is uh, to each his own. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't like to really nitpick other people's cars or projects, but there's certain things that I think they shouldn't do to a traditional car. But
Yeah.
you know, I mean, how many times you seen like square headlights on a 32 Roadster or something off of a
Oh yeah.
85 Chevy pickup or something, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what? What was this guy thinking? You know?
I know. I know. The thing of it is, though, uh, everybody, I don't care what it is. I have seen some butt ugly cars already. Like it seems like they all congregate in the back of McCungy at the run up there at the Wheels of Time. But the I've seen some ugly cars already. But everybody has one. I guarantee whoever owns that car loves it. He thinks that's the coolest thing on earth,
Yes.
or he has less money than I have. But the every one of those guys loves their car. There's all kinds of tastes there. I will never fault anybody for anything they do.
No.
Now, back in the early '70s, if you remember, like the American's Most Beautiful Roadster and things, those square headlights were like the coolest thing out there. And
Yeah.
and if you had double square headlights, the dual headlights, it was even cooler. I never liked that trend, but it's
No.
for what it's worth. The
No. I don't really like the billet. I
uh,
don't like what they did to hot rods. Like in the 80s, 90s, everything was billet,
yeah,
steering wheels, everything had the door handles, and it's just like, man, I never bought into that. I
yeah,
mean, because now those cars are being restored again, and you're like,
sure.
man, take that stuff off, and that's.
I,
I think it's a combination of people just you know they don't know, or B, they just actually they actually like that stuff. So
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
Things go through phases, you know. I could never stand back then the burlap interior thing, you know. That was stuff was horrible. I never liked that. That tease seats, the molded seats, you know. I know guys have them and they love them, you know. On the other hand, you look at something like a Jim Ewing Roadster. I don't know if you remember that one. You if you ever had a chance to see it in person.
I probably
Uh,
saw.
it's a 29, it's a 29 Highboy on an unzed frame or anything. I mean, it's straight. It's got a drop axle in it running 16-inch Ford wires, black on black, and it's got this interior in that looks like it came out of like a 1900s funeral car or something. These big, huge, oversized black pleats, you know, very, very classic, very, very classic. And the cool thing about this one, he was running a 40 Ford rear in this with a 39 top loader box, you know, a dual Deton top loader box. And he had a like a 62 Chevy 4-cylinder, the one that was the original Iron Duke, that was the uh had the it was like used a lot of 327 guts, but it was in a cast block of its own. That was a 4-cylinder. And since they use that particular motor uses the same rear of the block as a small block Chevy, that sort of triangle shaped thing, you can use an adapter to that from like Krager or Speedway or anybody. He had an old Krager on that one, which was really cool. They're available for like $100 on Marketplace all day long. And he put that in there with that, and he ran 2.2s on this with a camshaft out of a midget, and he had this huge homemade exhaust that was just beautifully done. Came out the side of the hood and went up along the one you couldn't open the driver's door, I think, if I remember correctly. And it was like a 4-inch pipe went up the whole side and up over the back and came out like just past the rear wheel. It was the neatest car around, black on black, old timey. You just that thing just screeched like 1930 or something. You know what I mean? It was just beautiful. And I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if it's still around or not. But if anybody's interested, just look up Jim Ewing, Ewing, Roadster, and it's a black 29. It is just probably the coolest rod I have ever seen in my life. If I'm ever a rich man, I'll build a clone. But it was probably cool along with Jim Ingley's Full House, which is
I,
just
you
another
you
beautiful
you
roadster.
you 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 rode in that, or you drove it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. That was a fun time in Wildwood. That goes back to the old days when Wildwood was still the Boardwalk Nats, and that is the icon car. Uh, Jim Ingley's really nice guy, nicest guy you meet in your life. He was um, he's on the ham every once in a while. Yet I haven't seen him on there in a while now, but he's on there. And uh, Jim was like the second owner of that car. When he got it, it was in primer and was kind of on its way to be a billet queen. And another one, a good one, if anybody looks up Jim Ingley's Full House Roadster, the car was just stunning, kind of a cream yellow. It's what I would imagine if in 1958 you were going to take the hottest girl in town to the drive-in. That's the one I would have took. And it was running the Fiesta hubcaps on it. Had a very potent 327 with 6.2s on it, and had these really cool valve covers, which are now residing on my car. And I've got those on there that would still in their original colors, and the paint is as good as the day it was done. And I had to dance through some hoops to get those, but they were well worth it. And I've got them on my car. And the unfortunately, the Full House was sold to a fellow in California who made it into a billet queen. and he pulled off the 6.2s, the chrome 6.2s, 97s that were set up by Jim Ingles is the absolute bar none best induction guy in the country. Every fuel dragster to this day that is worth anything runs Ingles fuel injection on those fuel dragsters, those top fuelers, and he was the best induction guy around, and he set up the 6.2s on the Ingles Roadster. And that thing, I will personally verify that that thing could burn some rubber with that 327. It
And
was neat.
and you drove this. I remember you telling me the story. You
Yeah,
drove this car down at the
in Wildwood,
beach. Oh
Wildwood.
wow!
Yeah,
And he was
yeah.
just
He
he
was
was just
just
there on
cruising
the
around.
yeah.
Yeah, he was with Randy Bianchi and everybody. You know, hot rodding is something kind of cool. Uh, the one thing that's cool about hot rodding is people who are absolute stars and legends in rodding, much kind of a lot like racing, is a lot of drag racers and things like that. Are those guys are so approachable and so friendly. I mean, everybody just kind of likes to hang with everybody else. And back in the old days of Wildwood, it's kind of the Trog has kind of taken over as the old timey event down there, and not so much the Fall Nats. I wish the Fall Nats, when it was the Boardwalk Nationals, when it was still run by the New Jersey Hot Rod Association, which was a club, it was more of a sort of a user friendly show. And unfortunately, now it's run by the Hotel Motel Owners Association, and it's kind of more designed to sell hotel rooms, I think. But
Yeah.
but back when the New Jersey Hot Rod Association, which was a club of car guys, it was much cooler. I really loved it. It used to be. I loved that show forever. That was my favorite. But
Now the Trog, that's post World War II only though, right? There's a cutoff, isn't there?
there's a cutoff. Yes, I think you can't run anything newer than 1948
Right.
at the Trog. I think if I'm correct. I send a couple of cars down every year. Somebody's got something we're building here. I don't know if Jordan has the. I just built a Speedster for Jordan. I don't know if he's going to have it running this year or not. I'm not sure what he's doing with that. Uh, but Rusty, he always runs his 31 down there. We were just joking. He had the hard luck trophy of the year there. Uh, every year that guy does something. He either bails it up or he busts something or whatnot. He's been trying 3 or 4 years to make it down the sand. I'm not even sure if he's made it down yet. But that's he doesn't quit though. I'll give him credit. And he's on Facebook under Rusty Zuckerberg, and he has a lot of things. Obviously, not his name, but he has a lot of that stuff. So the Trog is a good run down there. But that was the days when like everybody was there. You used to go onto the boardwalk. They put the cars on the boardwalk, and you'd see all the cars from like Rod and Custom and American Rodder and everything. All these magazine cars would show up there for this run. It was really, really cool. And I saw so many famous cars on that boardwalk. Plus the vibes were just so cool. The Trog is really, really nice. It's um, a lot different than that. But the fun of the Wildwood Run is not so much um, going to the show and putting your car on the boardwalk and competing for a trophy. What the fun of that is going from motel to motel because all the parking is underneath the motels down there for the most part. A lot of it is, and there's parties. Every club down there has a party underneath the motel, and you just walk up and everybody's friendly.
And
It's really good.
they shut the street off too.
Yeah, they do that down at the Trog. They do that. They shut it down for the cars to make their run down. Used to be on the boardwalk Nats back when it was the boardwalk Nats yet. they used to shut down the main drags, the Atlantic Pacific Avenue, and on cruise night, and it was American Graffiti Plus because no stock cars were allowed, only rods and customs. And you could run the cross streets with your Toyota, but all the main drags, the up and downs, the length of the island was all uh, uh, rods and customs, and I think the cutoff then was like 1962 or 64 or something. I would love to see those days return. I know now it's kind of a muscle car run. Same guys show up every year, like a lot of things. It's like, I know you go to McCungy to the Wheels of Time. I haven't been there a few years now, but a
Well,
lot of the same guys show up,
I've been going there since I was a kid. Like probably, I think I went there when I was 10, 11 years old. That's how long I've been going to that show. And uh I go because uh I like the same people. I got some friends, we all meet up from
Sure.
all over, and it's really cool, but I don't like, and I understand why, but they have to every year they raise it, and I think they're up to
Mhm.
95 cars up to
Mhm.
1995, which that's about 15 years of cars where I don't want to see any of that. But
Yeah.
and I don't have an answer to that other than the older generations are leaving us, but the cars are still going to be here. Like this is an argument I've always I ask everybody. I said we're going to pass, but the cars are going to outlast anything on the road today by far. Well, they are. They will.
Indeed.
I mean, my
No,
o- my my old is what, 70 years old. My Charger is 57 years old, and it's better than anything out there on the road today.
yeah.
I mean, as
Yeah,
long as
I'm
you get parts. I mean, and that's another thing. The prices of parts go up, and restoration. Like we were just talking paint. I mean,
yeah,
paint has gone from $100 a gallon to 1,000. Like
yeah.
base clear. It's absolutely insane. Um,
Yeah, it is pretty nuts, I was just thinking while you were saying that, my car is 96 years old.
right.
Like, there's not much left of it, but, it's still 96-year-old car design. Pretty
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
does
and
McConaughey still get a bunch of old rods, or is it
yeah.
mostly muscle cars? They do.
No, no, no. They get a lot of rods, and I see the same people every year. But the cars that win, and I'm not knocking what they do because it's still a place to go. To see. They get thousands of cars still. I mean, it's
Mhm.
not
Oh,
like
yeah.
going to the Syracuse or going to there's still some good shows on in the Northeast, but
Oh, yeah.
I like the cutoff about 1970. So
Yeah.
where are you gonna find that?
Yeah, I know. The funny part is I don't think there's less rods around right now. Actually, according to PennDOT's thing with the SR plates, there's more now than there was before. But it seems like the guys who are into the older stuff, the more traditional stuff, have split off and started their own events. Things like the Trog and like Latimer Speedway,
Yeah,
uh, things like Circle M. All those events are basically for the guys with the old stuff.
yeah,
They don't allow anything newer than like probably 48 there, Customs by the Sea, which is part of Trog. I think they allow up to 62 or something, if I'm correct. But they do um uh, a lot of those events, and I'm seeing so many guys having these older traditional cars just around here. The number of them that are running around, and they're very well done. A lot of them. Some of them not so much. In the summertime around here, I used to go all summer, and maybe I'd see one rod that wasn't mine out in the street. Now every week I see rods out there. This guy's just taking them to
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast, you know?
Well, that's
And
the thing too. I'm not saving my car for, I'm going to drive it. And
mm,
I mean, I'm not going to drive it in the snow, but I'm going to drive it. And because, well, who am I saving it for? I mean,
yeah,
there's no sense. I mean,
yeah.
and as I restore it, usually somebody wants it. And I usually sell it before I'm done, and then I start something else. But that's just how I've always, that's how it goes anymore.
We both do that.
Now like it. There is a bunch of new. I say new. There's a lot of shows that I go to, like Dead Man's Curve, which I didn't go to
Yep,
last year. That's a traditional show. Uh,
sure.
I mean
And it's huge.
The Gasket Goon show is 1970 and back. That's great. Uh,
Hmm.
I started that. You didn't want to be a part of it, but I mean, I started that club with Dan
Yeah, it was
and
just a bad
Phil and
time at that time.
Yankee
Yeah.
Dave, and I remember all the guys, Ace,
Yeah.
uh and that was a great thing, but now I'm glad to see it's taken off, and it's more of a carnival. It's a business now, which is great because we didn't see it as a business. We saw it as a bunch of
Yeah.
hoodlums. uh
Yeah.
I mean, we were hanging out with guys. There was 35 guys that we would hang out together with, and I think two of us had a job. And one of them was me. All the rest, all the rest were just shady characters, which was cool. I don't know. I like shady characters, but now it's all pretty much legit and fun, and I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I think it's a good I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
But it's tough to go to car shows and cruise nights when you know I hope you understand when I say this. Like, I do all my work on my car, and I'll park next to like some guy with his shorts pulled up to his chest getting out of his new Corvette, and he's snubbing me like you
Yeah.
you bought your car, and what you do, put a K&N filter on it, and that just like that just I
No,
guess
it's good.
it's to each his own. I get it, but it's just like, man, you got
Mhm.
no idea what. I don't know. If I
Yeah.
had money, I
No,
wouldn't buy a new Corvette anyway. But
nah, I know. Yeah, if everybody I might buy an old one, but the um I think that uh a lot of these guys, I've always looked at it a little different than you do, I like I think we talked about a couple of weeks ago. I said, you know, I'm pretty mechanically inclined. I can build anything I want. You know what I mean? And I do. But some people who are not mechanically inclined, and they may have other skills. They may be a
right,
very good doctor. You know what I mean? And more power to them. If they can buy that car they want and they have the where to do it, I'm happy for them. You know what I mean? I mean, you can talk. You're at a car show and you walk up to some guy who has a rod there and they're nice, and you know we all know who they are that have every shop in town working on it. They had the chassis at one place, they took it somewhere else for paint, someplace else for interior, and as long as the it was designed well and done well, who cares? You know what I mean? They're having fun. Let them have fun. That's it. That's it. And sometimes somebody's going to get a beautiful car, and they'll get tired of playing with it, maybe. And somebody just gets a beautiful car out of it, so it's cool. The only thing I regret, years ago, Howie wanted to trade me his Deuce Coupe for my Blue A Roadster, and I
the
should have
wait a
did
minute,
it.
the black 30,
Black 32.
32. Yeah, okay, I
Yeah,
remember
he
that.
wanted to he wanted to trade that to me for my. I think the attraction was my Roadster was a steel Roadster, and to me, I got no problem with fiberglass cars. You know what I mean? and I should have grabbed that sucker because I was kind of looking for a closed car at the time, and I one of those ones I flipped out and I shouldn't have.
That
But
was a beautiful car. I sat in that car.
that
I think he
was
let me sit in that car. Yeah, I remember that
yeah,
car. It was nice.
everybody sat in that car.
He we're talking about how he he sold his Dukes of Hazzard car, and that's what he bought.
Mm,
If I
yeah.
remember, yeah, and that was a nice car. That was 15 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, at least
Yeah,
maybe more,
so
maybe
yeah,
20.
yeah. Wow, I don't know
Yeah,
about 20. Maybe it
it's
could have
got to be
been.
close. It's got to be close. Yeah, that was a Brookville car, a Brookville Roadster body. It was on one of my chassis, 283 to 39 trans, one of those adapters we talked about,
Right.
and a 40 Ford rear underneath it. I got that. That thing had 354s in the rear, which was really cool. I got that from Pete, and the the 354 rear really made that car nice on the open road. I could run 65 in that thing with a 283 loafing down the turnpike or something, you know.
Um. Now I know you're not into muscle cars. I know you're
Well, sort of.
well. I just you're a guru of that era of roadsters and but
It's stuff I remember growing up, you know.
that's what I'm saying. You're a tad older than me. So I grew up
Mm,
in the muscle car era going, cruising the strip. We went to Pottstown. We went
mm,
whatever. I mean, everybody had what was around late, early 70s. So that would have been about 15 years old and that era. So you're talking GTOs and Chargers, and
oh
that's
yeah.
kind of what was. And there was roadsters too, but I grew up in the muscle car era more than I missed. Obviously I wasn't born until 1970, but I appreciate all the old stuff because I love both. I love that whole thing, and like my Charger has 293 gears in the rear because
Mm,
uh, uh, I wanted something to go on the highway with it, and my
yeah.
Oldsmobile is maxed out. 65 miles an hour is max. So uh,
Mm,
it's a different animal. So I put the posi in the rear yesterday. It's all done, and that's going to do a lot of burnouts. I can see that coming because that car is sick. Eventually I'm going to finish it, but right now what I do when I normally restore my vehicles, I do them in stages of uh I get them running and I get them mechanically sound, and then I'll take them apart and paint. You know what I mean? I don't
yeah.
I like to see what the car where I'm going to go with it, because if the motor's trash, then right away I got to take the motor out. But I don't know. I've always done it like that. I always did the mechanical side first, and then worried about cosmetics later. But sometimes things push you in different directions here and there. But um, it is what it is. I enjoy it. I
Yeah.
restore anything. I'm going to restore this jukebox probably because I want to listen to my 45s. I got about 60 45s in this old jukebox sitting here.
Mm,
Uh, but I plugged it in and I had it going. All of a sudden, there was a little mushroom cloud of smoke. Poof, came out of the tubes. It was caught fire. I had to shut it off. It's the transformers are all shot in it.
yeah. Power amp.
But
You can just swap out the power amp.
I'll get to it when I always say when I get time. I don't know when that's
Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah,
I
I know.
I
You
got I
you
got
just got to keep banging away, you know.
I have coming up. I'm gonna probably do some of this live upholstery, but I have a really cool project that I don't think anybody's done. I have a 1972 ice cream truck,
Mm,
and I am redoing the seat in an American flag upholstery. It's going to be so
Mm.
cool because the inside of the ice cream truck's like American flag. It's all red, white, and blue. It's I think the customer is it's their 50th or 25th anniversary for the business. So
Mm.
it's going to be cool. And I don't want to give it away, but I'm looking at it right now. It's going to be really cool. Wait till you see what I do to this seat. Uh,
Yeah.
and I got that. I got all upholstery. I got a dash pad to redo. Plus all my stuff, and then other stuff customers bring in. But I wish I had more time. But it's takes a lot of time to restore vehicles and build vehicles. It
Yeah.
just you can't look at it like you see on TV where the car shows up and they got 12 guys in their shop. Um, but even though I watch like shows like Graveyard Cars, those
Mhm.
cars it's a 3-year project to get those cars done.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
people don't understand that. The episode is 30 minutes long. They see the car come in on a trailer, and then at the end of the show, they're test driving it. Well, that took 3 years.
Yeah.
It's something that
It's
takes a
not
lot
that
of
easy.
time. What's that?
I I was taken back. I've been working on this Vicky for 6 years now.
Yeah,
But I've worked on dozens of other cars in the meantime.
right.
But it's 6 years now. That's insane. I turned around. It's been like 12 years since I've owned one of my own that was actually titled and running. It's been a long time. But I just work around the clock.
Now,
And
do you still go for the hot rod plates, or is no need to anymore?
oh no, I get the SR plates. You can run legal. And the only reason I say that, I know a lot of my friends say, well, I have a buddy of mine, one of my best friends. He has a 49 Ford pickup. He runs with 49 plates on it. Never had them registered, never had the truck inspected. He's never been pulled over in Pennsylvania or New Jersey or New
Well,
York.
there is no more
Yeah.
inspection anymore.
But for what?
I don't have to have my cars inspected anymore. I
What kind of plates you running on them?
Well, I have antique, or I have wait, I don't
Yeah.
remember what's on my car.
Just bear in mind legally, okay, antique plates, you cannot change anything at
No,
that car.
it's not antique then. It's I forget.
Classics,
Classics. I think it's
classic plate.
classics. Yeah.
Yeah, but the antique plates you don't have to have inspected. Classic, I think you still do. I don't deal with them so much. I deal with the SR plates a lot. SR plates, if you have SR plates, the street rod plates, they're ugly plates, I know. There's a long story that goes with that. But they're red and white plates, but they're Pennsylvania plates. You can run no bumpers, no hood, no fenders, everything legal. The benefit is not so much that you're running the plates, because you're probably not going to get pulled over. I've driven them all over hell already with no plates on or no inspection. And the cops just kind of let you alone for the most part. You always get that one guy that's got a hot thing, but they pretty much let you alone. The thing is where you run into problems unless you have that car plated and registered and inspected. It's difficult to get legal insurance on it or insurance that will hold water. And all you got to do, I look at it this way, for if you've got a roadster and you're out in the road, all you got to do is hit mom in her soccer van. You're going to get sued. You're going to lose everything you worked your whole life for, because you'll have no insurance. You know what I mean? So
Well,
I always tell guys, make sure you get plates, make sure you get it inspected.
well, I have I run I think Haggerty or
Mhm.
Grundy,
Yep.
and that is the only type of insurance I suggest anybody ever puts on their car,
Yeah.
because you can't put these old cars on your State Farm or
No,
anything
no.
else like that, because they're gonna prorate whatever you get in an accident.
Yeah.
Whereas the collector's insurance is gonna
Well,
hand
that's for
you
collision.
they're going to hand you over what you have the car valued at. Um,
Yeah.
because I didn't even register my Charger yet. I'm probably going to do it in the spring. Uh,
Mhm.
but I still have full coverage insurance on. Actually, I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I called to add my Charger to my Haggerty or Haggerty, I think I have Haggerty.
Mhm.
They told me basically because I was gonna put it on for a couple thousand until I get done with it, and they said, "Oh no, 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 it's listed here for 15,000." So I upped it already. As long as the only stipulation they had, it has four tires and all the glass was in the car. Uh, no, you're full covered regardless,
Yeah.
and that covers if I have it out in my driveway, a tree falls on it, it gets hit with a bolt of lightning, anything.
Yeah,
It's
that's your collision.
yeah,
The one that I worry about, I've had Haggerty, I've had Taylor already. I like Taylor a lot. It's a little more money. They give you very personal service. You know, they're right out of Philadelphia, and you
right.
can actually go down to their offices on Street Road and drop into their office and say hi. I've done that already. Uh, all those companies, those specialty companies, are very good. My understanding now, State Farm is supposed to partner with Haggerty for classic and antique insurance and things. But there's when you get your car insurance, you're talking about your collision there. That's what you get if your car is stolen or
Right.
burns up or gets in an accident. Your liability is the one I worry about. I don't really care that much. I figure if I smash my car up, it's my loss for being that stupid. But but you have to carry the collision to get the insurance. And I'm more worried about the liability. I always sweat that one because if you don't have that liability, they can go after everything, and that worries me a lot.
Well, I
So I make sure everybody has insurance.
I run full coverage on both my
Yep,
cars. Both of my cars for the year, I think it's under $300 a year.
I
I
know
mean,
it's not much. It's
you
like for my rod, they quoted me like $180 or something.
I mean, that's insane. I mean,
It's cheap.
that
You
that's
have
wonderful. I wish the prices of parts would come down to match the insurance.
does Haggerty have a mileage limit on?
Um, no. I I don't have a restriction. Eh,
No.
No.
Yeah, 'cause
And
some of the insurers, I'm trying to think of one of the other, is it Grundy that what they do is you're limited to going to and from special events. Like you can't take your rod to breakfast, you know what I mean? Uh, Taylor never told me about anything. They just go ahead, just don't run more than like I think they gave me like 10,000 a year or something on it, which I never ran more than that.
now, unfortunately, I have my odometer's not even working in the it hasn't
Most
worked
of them
yet.
don't.
I'm just telling you. I mean, it doesn't even matter. My odometer in the Oldsmobile hasn't worked yet. I have to take it. I have to take the dash apart to get it out. Um,
Mhm.
but I mean, I don't think it's a big deal anymore. Like one thing I wanted to tell you, you were talking about the police. You gotta realize that the police are young fellas now. They're not
Yeah,
the they're not the old fellas that used to harass the crap out of us.
yeah. No,
Those
they're
guys,
pretty cool.
they don't. I think it's a combination of they don't have no idea. It's just old technology. They don't want to be involved with that if you can't press an app. So I
Mm.
don't think they really they don't hassle us like we used to when we were younger because the
Yeah,
police were older. You know,
yeah, they've gotten pretty cool. And most of the graybeards, the guys our age, they don't care. They know we're not going to hurt anything. They just let us go. They're
no,
not worried about it. So they're pretty cool. And a lot of them are motorheads too. They enjoy the cars, you know, particularly like like we were talking about Wildwood earlier, get down there, the cops are pretty cool with the rod guys. They really
I-
are. I know a lot of the other guys complain, not so much with the ricers, but they're pretty cool.
well, they passed an ordinance in my township for the rice burner cars because we used to have a cruise night locally here at a one pizza place by me, and
Mm.
the rice burner guys threw a cruise night as well. Now the township requires a permit because they they just ruined it for everybody.
Oh,
Uh,
well, they ruined Wildwood. I mean, that H2O Club, they're an internet online club for guys with imports, and mostly imports, and some 50 Mustangs, mostly imports, things like that. Those guys were down there. They hit some. There was an accident, and one guy got killed, and a couple people got hurt on a golf cart was out in the street, which are legal down the shore, and there was a couple accidents. I remember that was like 2 or 3 years ago, and there was a major fit. I mean, Ocean City, New Jersey, has become like a hellhole down there. They harass the living shit out of you. They will not let you go down there just because of that stuff. Because they don't separate the younger fellows who have, we've all watched the news lately. They're talking about these drifting exhibitions where they're like taking over streets in LA and New York and stuff, and doing the donuts in the intersections and stuff like that. I mean, was it any different in back in the 50s when there was a lot of street racing and there was like talk about it? Probably not. They just got to learn to behave themselves a little bit. And otherwise, it's just going to get very tough on everybody,
yeah,
unfortunately.
I mean, I don't want to sound like an old man, but yeah, I mean, it's not good. I mean, listen, I can honestly sit here and say that when I never had a seatbelt, and
Mm,
everywhere I went was at 100 miles an hour at least.
mm,
And I lived to tell about it. I remember my dad coming to me. My dad had to borrow my car one time to go to work. His truck was in there. This is back when I was young. He borrowed my car to go to work for the day. He came home that night and he said to me, I don't know how you're alive." He said, "I was going to work and I stepped on it." He said, "The back end of the car just started coming around and it wasn't wet. It was just on the road." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Dad, the car, it hauls ass." And
yeah.
he said to me, I don't know how you live this far." I only had a couple, near misses, let's say, but other than that, I get tickets now for 26 and a 25. I never got a ticket for 125 and a 25. So
Mm,
I lived through it. I
yeah.
guess there was less people, but
Yeah. As long as you're relatively sane, they kind of let you alone. It's,
well, uh, the cars the cars we had were straight cars. Really, you really didn't go fast in the corners because you couldn't. You're gonna lose it.
no, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. My dad, he was into to racing and whatnot, drags, dirt cars, things like that. And there was never anything I owned that was was able to scare him. So, yeah, pretty cool. But my wife just this week she found an old picture of my dad in my garage in the shop, with checking out this. I had a chassis sitting there. I don't even know what it was from, with a small block Chevy and trips on it and chromed out and pretty nice chassis. So it probably wasn't one of my cars, but it was a real nice car. It was cool seeing my dad there checking it out. He's long gone, but unfortunately, that was a neat picture. So she found it tucked away somewhere.
How long has your dad been passed?
God, let me think here. He's been gone 14 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, that goes back a bit. Yeah, he was a diehard to the end. I remember the last conversation we had, not being morbid here, but the last conversation we had, he had Parkinson's and was in real bad shape,
Ah,
and we were at the hospital, and I visited him the night before he died, a few hours before he passed. And we were talking about building Model A's. He was giving me, I was building, actually, I was building that blue Model A. I was driving the one we were talking about there for a while. And he was telling me, now you make sure when you put that flywheel in, you do, he knew all about what he was talking about. And
really?
he was s- so up for coming and helping me. He thought for sure he was getting out. He never made it. So, we have more and more of that. Um,
Well, and I made this talking about what you just said. Now, I grew up. All the old timers I grew up with are that were involved with the automotive. Let's say before they passed, a majority of them got dementia, and I think it has to do with the carburetor cleaner and the brake clean and the gasoline. We used to wash our hands in gasoline to get the
oh
oil.
yeah.
I think that has 100%, man. It has something to do with dementia
Mhm.
because all of them had it. All of them get it from that era. So I try to put the little gloves on as much as possible. I kind of forget
Yeah.
sometimes, but it's just nasty stuff. If you ever pick up, you pick up a can of brake clean and look at the what's in it, you know,
Oh yeah.
it's all skull and crossbones stuff.
Oh yeah. Look at
It's not.
everybody used to clean their guns and spray lacquer primer with no mask on. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, out of a Binks Model 7. If you remember those days. And that was standard issue back then. Because I'll tell you, I gave my Binks Model 7 to somebody. That was an old siphon gun. But boy, you were laying down 10 mils with one shot. You know what I mean? They were brutal.
Yeah, I mean, um I use these for glue, and
Yeah, that's a siphon gun. Yeah.
I was getting them for about $16.
Mhm.
And then when I'm done with it, I spray. I use this for my upholstery glue. I
Uh-huh.
have
Yeah.
I got another one because if you let them sit too long, they get clogged.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when I'm done with it, I just throw this out and get
Yeah.
another one because they're $16. But
Yeah.
they are raising them up. They are starting to come up in price, which is not good. But
Yeah. That's a Harbor Freight gun, I assume.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
there's believe it or not, I've had the opportunity to spray with one of those, what do they call them, the Black Widows. They're fairly decent gun,
yes,
and man, that sucker laid on nice. I was using a very good DeFilbus gun. That was my favorite for clears and colors like candies and flakes and things, up until about 6 months ago, and a friend of mine brought me some paint over to spray a dash for him. I sprayed the dash and it hardened in like 3 minutes inside my DeVilbiss gun and trashed it. That was a gravity feed gun, though. So my beautiful DeVilbiss is gone. So when I paint mine now, I'm going to have to get another gun. I think I'm just going to get a Harbor Freight. I'm
yeah.
not going to spend that kind of money. It's not worth a grand anymore.
No, no, no. They actually make an upgraded version of that for like $100. And
Yeah.
there's a bunch of videos out there of guys painting cars with it, with
Oh yeah.
and they work fantastic.
Oh
And
yeah, those Black Widows, they call them the Black Widows, are like they used to be about 215. I think they're down to like $190 now. And that sucker will shoot a 14-inch fan. I mean, it's beautiful. I
Yeah.
can't believe it. It's a good fan too. It's not some like kind of figure eight piece of goofishness, you know. I mean, you can shoot like, especially when I was doing a lot of painting yet, uh I used to shoot a lot of candies and stuff. And when you're shooting candies in really hard metallics like fire mist, you have to have a really nice pattern, otherwise it'll be full of streaks, you know, tiger stripes. So but you know, both the one had the pleasure of shooting some stuff with was beautiful. I mean, I couldn't believe how nice it laid in. So I'm going to grab one, $190 or something. You know, it's well worth it. You know, and I I still haven't dropped so low as to shoot with Rust-Oleum, but I know some friends who are, because you can paint a car for $35.
Yeah.
Uh, it doesn't lay on as nice, you know. Uh, I still like Limco when I can get it, although it's getting harder to get. I think Industrial Coatings, which is our automotive supplier around here, still has Limco. I mean, what beautiful paint! Ooh,
I think
yeah,
Eastwood has a kit for about $150. It's a gallon of satin black, which
yeah,
I
I've
mean,
used that already.
it's pretty good. I used to,
Yeah,
I painted a lot of cars. I was
yeah,
actually an industrial painter when I was younger. I worked for a hydraulic
mm,
company. I used to paint every day, and
mm,
I painted a bunch of cars. One of them I used a DuPont hot rod satin, um, and my Oldsmobile was a similar product to that. I am gonna paint. I am gonna paint the Charger a gloss black,
yeah,
factory, because that's a factory car.
yeah,
I'm probably keeping it mostly factory. So
yeah,
maybe the
yeah,
motor I gotta hop up a little bit. I don't know.
yeah.
I gotta know when to stop.
Yeah, I kind of like to put a nice finish on my Roadster. However, it's true to fashion. You remember some of my creations. Once I'm out on the road with it, it's all over. I'll just drive the wheels off it. I won't even bother to paint it. But I really think it would look good. I'll tell you, I think that thing would look outrageous if it was finished nicely. But
Yeah,
you know,
I
we'll
like
see.
even the cream color would suit that nice.
Oh yeah, the cream would look really good on
The
that.
cream, because of your interior is like a dark reddish
Burgundy, like,
burgundy. That
yeah.
cream color would look nice. And then you could put a couple dice on the door. or
Yeah,
or a full house. You can call it
yeah, Full House.
the Full House
Believe
Vic.
it or not, I don't think that Jim Ingles would care at all. A while back, he had sent me the what do you call it, the transfers or whatever for the Full House logo that was on that, because I was talking about repopping that one, the other car that I really love, and I had toyed I had seriously toyed the last few months here with selling my Roadster and building an Ingles clone, or a Ewing clone, you know, two greatest cars ever. But I don't know. I think I'll just drive the wheels off it. I don't know. But
Well, enjoy it, man. Tomorrow's never guaranteed anymore. So
oh, tell me about it.
I you can't put off anymore anything. You just got to do it. So
Nope.
it's
I think I told you my Don story a while back.
yes,
Yeah. So you know that tells you, you know, you never know. So that
y- yeah,
Roadster would probably run Florida nicely. So,
yeah. I mean, that's ambitious.
hmm,
That's
Florida.
that's an ambitious ride.
Nah, I've done that. I drive that thing all the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, well, in my SUV, you know, I take the
No, no,
wife.
no. I'm talking in a roadster to Florida. That's 21 hours in a roadster, ain't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, you do it split. I'll tell you, it's easiest if you split it and stay over someplace in the middle of you know, drive like half of it. drive about 10, 12 hours. That's like a nothing, 10, 12 hours in a roadster on a nice day.
Well,
You know,
what's your gas tank capacity? 12?
what's that? Oh no, I have like I have in that I have 16, 18, something like that. I forgot what it is. I got
Okay.
about 16, 18. So by that time you want to stretch your legs anyways, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And you stop, fill up and head out again. The it's not bad. I wouldn't mind making the turkey run. That'd be cool. There's a couple of other good runs down in Florida. Florida's a good run. Actually, I'll tell you a really good run is the Spring Myrtle Beach run. That's a really good one. Um, another shore run, a lot of old timey stuff. It's kind of reminds me of the way a Wildwood used to be. You know what I mean?
Well,
Ocean City's always good.
I like cruising. If I'm going on a trip like that, I like to have a bunch of us go at the same time because
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
uh, that's just always fun.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna break down, and then you got somebody's to help. You know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yankee Dave, Yankee Dave did that. He blew, he remember his roadster used to have those tires that were like 20 years dry rot on it.
Yes,
And he blew one out right over the Walt Whitman Bridge. And the New Jersey service truck helped him change a tire on his roadster.
that's
He was
great.
having a ball. He was having a ball. He loved it. But we had fun. We need to get together for another good run, at least one more.
Boy, I'd like to.
Um,
I know you're tossing around uh, starting another club, or just
yeah,
not really a club, but more of a social club.
like-minded guys who just want to kind of hang out. We did the Aces Club. That was a really cool club. I really enjoyed it, but it kind of got a little carried away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think I think the best clubs are the clubs where you have 10 or 12 really good buddies who just want to get together. You call each other up and say, "Hey, you want to make a run to Knoebels on Saturday, and we'll stuff our faces." And I think that's uh, you know that would be a really good club.
yeah. I don't have enough time and energy to do the meetings
Yeah.
and every week and getting yelled at and it takes the fun out of it. I don't want
Oh
to get yelled
yeah.
at. I don't like being yelled at anymore. I don't like
Uh,
I don't
I
like being
never
told what
had.
to do anymore.
I was never real good at that either.
No,
the
no,
the, and It's just that I know like Gasket Goons, it's a business now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And more power to them. I'm thrilled that they're doing that and being successful at it. They
yeah.
provide a really good run for everybody. You know what I mean? I
I
haven't been
I
I haven't
like
been down
it.
there, but
When we started the club. I think we had about 30 members,
mhm.
and we had 29 flat black cars, and I think I had a blue one. That was it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's different, you know.
come to think of it, I think I was the only guy. I think I was the only guy. Your car was flat black when we started the Aces Club, and
Yeah,
I think I was the only one with a blue car. I think
yeah.
so.
Every all the cars were flat black.
Yeah,
Now it kind of got away from that. Now they got paint and they're fancy paint.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's changed. Things have changed.
Well, I tell you what, I had a good night talking to you, and we're gonna do this again every Sunday night, 8 o'clock. We're gonna talk hot rods in some fashion. Now, last week I had Harley Berg on from California.
Mhm.
He
Yeah,
said he wants to come back on. Man, what a
yeah,
brilliant man! Just to hear him talk as well. Uh,
good guy.
I haven't even begun to crack his egg he has in his head. All the memories and stuff that he doesn't even remember. So I got to get this information out of everybody, because You're not going to get this information over a phone asking Google or whatever. This is the only way you're going to get it, by interacting with the the old timers. I say, I don't know, but
Yeah.
Larry, thanks for coming on, and I will be in touch. New Year's is coming.
Oh,
You have a great New Year, and I appreciate it.
okay, we'll see you next time.
All right, I'll talk to you again soon. Have a good night. Thank you.
Bye bye.